All right, Shalom family, come on in, come on in. Trying to get everybody on here if we can. Which is his authority that we pray, praise, proclaim, project, and protect today's message. Aman. Hello, everybody. I am Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant of Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being a voice of the voices and speaking the unspoken. We appreciate your presence today. Thank you, everybody, for being on. Those who were able to make it earlier for our meetings for today, and we're going to continue to do those weekly meetings, those Zoom sessions. We had our first one for today, Tuesday. I believe we have two of them. So we had one at 7 p.m. Eastern New York time for everybody in the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. Later this evening at 9 p.m. Eastern New York time or 8 p.m. Central time, we will be having our meeting for everybody in the Central North region. So if you didn't get it as of yet, just look through your emails. You should be able to get those emails. The schedule we have put out on different social media platforms, so you should be able to look in different social media platforms, different channels on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, IG, etc., and be able to see what our schedule is. For at least the next couple of months coming up, it'll remain the same. And just real quick, Monday evenings at 9 p.m. So this is all Eastern New York time. Mondays at 9. It's going to be everybody in the Northeast region. Tuesdays at 7 will be the Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida. Tuesdays at 9 will be everybody in Central North region. Thursdays at 9 will be everybody in the West Coast and the Midwest, or everybody on Mountain Time and Pacific Time. And then everybody else will be Friday at 9. These will be brief meetings. The goal is, we're trying to get them down. The goal is to try and have them 15 to 20 minutes at least at first, to be able to just say hello, introduce ourselves, talk about certain things, kind of interject some stuff, have people answer some real quick questions, and us be able to get to know one another and stuff like that. So that's what the goal is. So I'm not trying to hold everybody, make it long, etc. And every day that we're up, if you feel like you're in the area and you haven't gotten an email or a text or something, just text us, let us know. If for some reason, and before that, if at least if we have your information in our spreadsheet, when we ask everybody to fill out that form, that's one of the reasons why we ask. If we have your information in the spreadsheet, we shall make sure that we send you the information out. Okay, so just to let everybody know. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into tonight's word. We thank you everybody for being on. We appreciate you. We'll say our Bible pledge real quick. And once again, we give our honor and praise to the Most High. We give our praise and honor to Him for my wife, the Honorable Amma, who lives a life that's able to be honored. As always, check her out on TikTok, YouTube, her website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish. Not A&D, the letter N. Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. How you doing, Brother TJ, Havaya, Sister Sherlyn, Minister Steven, Sister Dawn, Book Plus, D Flash. I apologize, I can't. Somebody on here. Springtime, big Brother Thomas. I'm having issues. I can see a little bit of it. I guess it's modern Hebrew, right? The dollar at the end is the Hlesh. Okay. Anyway, um, I'm sorry. Sorry. Anyways, forgive me. Let me get back on track. How you doing, big brother Thomas? How you doing, Sister Sheila? How you doing, brother Omar? How you doing, Sister Jonah Key? I guess it's Florida 32810, possibly. How you doing, Sister Monica? Lottie Dying, everybody. Appreciate you. How you doing? Is that Kevin? Is that Minister Kevin or is that another Kevin? How you doing, Jaheen or Jane? Not sure if that's how you pronounce it. How you doing, Sister Monica? Appreciate you. How you doing, Michael? Hola, ¿cómo está, mi familia? ¿Cómo está, mi hermana? Yo soy tu hermanito. How you doing? Hopefully, tu esposa es bien as well. So let's go ahead and get started. How you doing, Brother Dwayne? How you doing, Book of Nothing? How you doing, Miss Pierce? Lottie Dottie, everybody. Okay, let's go ahead. We'll say our Bible pledge real quick. You can just repeat after me, and we'll get into tonight's message. And then we do have, as I said, another meeting with the Central North region right after this. So if you're in the Central North region, that's we're putting Canada in the Central North for right now. So if you're Canada, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota. We're including, I know it's weird on the map, we're including Missouri, Ohio. I think I kind of mentioned everybody, but if you're in that area, so to speak, you should have got an email if we have your information. If you haven't gotten an email or whatever, feel free to text us as soon as the live is over. I will try my best to make sure that I share the information with you all, okay? Thank you, appreciate you. And continue to let's continue to make this work so we can stop just making this, or well, it's not. We know that it's not just virtual, it's reality. All right, let's say our Bible pledge. Just repeat after me. This is my Bible. Say Bible pledge, repeat after me. You ready? Right here in the air. This is my Bible. Just repeat after me. This is my Bible. This is my sword. And this will I trust. For Yahshua is Lord. No other God shall ever be heard. For this is my Bible, and this is Yahshua. Hashem Yehava. Hashem Yehava. Amen. All right, amen. All right, thank you, everybody. So, and if you were referencing the word with this, so you can go back to what you were doing. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. So tonight we're going to talk about. I've been sent with a message. Right. The message is leave real men alone. ... If you aren't ready. Right. Leave real men alone. I'm not just talking about only marriage, even though that will come up tonight. But leave real men alone. And for the sisters, you have to wait a couple nights. We're going to talk about yours as well. We're going to have to wait till Thursday because I won't be on tomorrow evening. I'll be on tomorrow in the rising, but not tomorrow evening. But leave real men alone if you aren't ready. Right. And we were dealing with this today. We were talking about in Kung Fu class, and when we were in class tonight, we were dealing with a few things, and we were speaking on different subject matter, and we were talking about fighting, of course. And when we were talking about fighting and stuff got a little real, and we started talking about, when we're in a real fight, there's levels to it. We were saying, hey, when we're doing our Tuesday nights are going to be more of self-defense. Right. So self-defense, you want to, you might have to really, really do something. You're trying to be defensive, but you have to have in mind that, hey, if we got to go, we got to go. Then we were saying, hey, when we're sparring, that's kind of an agreement amongst each other. If we're fighting, if it's like, hey, what's up with you? What's up with you? You know what you said, whatever you want to fight. Yeah, let's fight. That's an agreement too. Right. In a fight though. And then of course there's levels to it. There's competition and stuff. But we were saying if you in a fight, especially in a street fight, the gloves come off, right? And you got to be ready. And our Shifu, which just means master, our teacher, how you doing, Springtime? He was making it a point. How you doing, Minister Chanta? He was making it a point to say, be careful when you deal with a real man like these, especially the old heads out here, because a lot of them aren't trying to fight anyways. So if you see a lot of times an old man or a lot of men or a man that you usually see that's very reserved or whatever, and you see him fighting, he said, like, if you ever see him, if we ever saw a master outside fighting, he said, call the police and realize that I've done everything in my power to step away. Right. And that's a mentality a lot of people have. People, men and women, of course, but tonight we're going to focus on men. Thursday night we'll focus on the sisters, but men are usually going to have a mind especially real men, older men, certain brothers who are fathers, husbands, trying to make it to their families, that I'm not really trying to fight, especially for no reason. I got too much to lose. I'll fight on behalf of my brothers, my brother, my sister. I'll fight on behalf of my son. I'll fight on behalf of my wife, in reverse order of what I just said, right? I'll fight on behalf of them, but I'm not really trying to. But if you catch me, if you really want me to go there, then recognize that I have a rule, same rule I had when I was in the military. I'm going home. Shalom, Sister Priscilla, right? That's my rule. I have a rule. I'm going to go home. That means, right, that you can do whatever you want. You can call us whatever you want. But if you're going to fight me, if you're going to have me come into that place of protection, I'm wired to go there, but the wires are disconnected, praise God. But if you want me to go ahead and reconnect those wires, just know my mind is I'm going to make it home if we're going to have a real fight, right? And I'm trying to end it as soon as possible, because I don't know if you'll be the person who can't take a loss and tries to stab me when I turn my back. I don't know if you're going to pull out a gun because you're afraid to pull these things out. So as soon as I can, it's over, right? But also in life, right? Be careful, right? Leave these brothers alone. Don't leave real men alone unless you're ready, right? A real man is not trying to have an argument. See, watch this. He didn't even blah blah whatever. Like it didn't, right? Your man is trying to be quiet. Oh, he's always trying to be quiet, right? He's always trying to be this. He's always trying to do that. He doesn't want to discuss that. But I'll be thinking to myself, leave that man alone. Right? Because then all of a sudden he starts fighting, and then all of a sudden he starts saying stuff, and you're like, I can't believe he said that and this and that or whatever. Look, if he got to fight, he's going. The goal is to make it home. You think he's trying to win a fight or win an argument or this, that, or whatever? No, it's not about winning an argument per se. He's trying to make sure that he, so to speak, like if he ends it, he's trying to end it as quick as possible. He has a different mentality than what you might think. Right? We don't have time for all that. Leave real men alone. If you don't want me to say what's actually what I'm seeing, yeah, home is the goal. There you go. Right. If you don't want me to say what I'm seeing, then don't keep asking me what you think. And if he keeps saying no, that's his way of trying to like diffuse the situation. That's him putting his hands up. But if you ask him to, okay, to your neck. Right? Like if you ask him to, but he's trying, hey, look, I don't know if you're really ready for it. I don't know if you really want. And then all of a sudden he says something. Why are you so mean? Well, because you asked him for something. He's got the EQ to tell you. He's got the EQ to teach. Matter of fact, a lot of real men are masters, are teachers. Not necessarily masters of everything, but we're masters of at least one thing. See, this old saying is not I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. The original saying is I'm a jack of all trades, master of one. So what's that mean? That means that I'm a master, I'm a teacher, and I'm used to people who see, I'm used to persons who recognize the greatness in me. I'm used to people that recognize the greatness in me and see what I do, and when they see it on display, they want to sit at my feet. Now, I'm not trying to say everybody must worship me, which sitting at somebody's feet is being taught. So when I have somebody come, especially if you ask me something that is in my arena, and I'm ready to give direction, and I feel like anybody else would listen to my direction except you, it's odd. Now watch this. Sisters, I told you, your time is coming on Thursday. You know that we're fair here, to say the least. Right? You know we're fair here, to say the least. But I'm just trying to put some stuff out there. If this isn't for you, it's not for you. If the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, take it off. However, let's have some honest dialogue. Right? Let's have some honest dialogue. A lot of men say this to you, and a lot of sisters, I know because I be dealing with couples all the time. And a lot of brothers tell you they don't think that they are heard. They do not feel heard. Just like you say you don't feel protected, or you don't feel like somebody's giving you affection, and you don't feel, well, they say they don't feel heard, they don't feel respected. They say it all the time. And I'm going to give you one of the simplest ones. I know we're not simple. I know we kingdom sense, not common sense, but hear me out. Hear me, beloved. I love y'all. Love y'all. You hear me? I love y'all. Don't hurt me. One of the easiest ways, I know he said this before, and I know for some of you, more than one man has told this to you before. unfortunately, I'm not trying to say this because you're a bad person always get into relationships. I'm saying, unfortunately, many of us were taught to date and we've gone through a lot of relationships like this, right? So I know you've heard more than one time before, some of you, not all of you, but some of you have heard, hey, why is it that you can listen to everybody else, but you can't listen to me? Or why is it you can listen, right? Why is it you can listen to every Well, there is another person that says there's another version too. There's different versions of the Jack of all trades. Yeah, Master of Self, Master of One. Right, the original one, as far as Benjamin Franklin said, was Master of One, and people argued that one too. That he actually didn't say that either. So, granted, true. All right, but back to what we're talking about. Uh, hey, I don't feel like I'm listened to or heard. And this is something that he says all the time. You can listen to everybody else. And you'll start saying, no, I don't listen to everybody else. And then he'll start telling you, and it's like, then it turns into, well, this is why I can listen to everybody else. But he wonders, because this is the truth. Now, once again, I'm talking about kingdom husbands. I'm talking about actual men of Yahusha. See, we got to discriminate. I'm not saying every brother deserves this. I'm not saying all men are real men. That's why that's why this is called leave real men alone. Just because he's got a phallus, just because something swings between his legs doesn't mean he's a real man. I get that. I honor that thought process. I agree with that thought process. Matter of fact, I myself, for a long time in my so-called adult life, was not a real man. I own up to that. I was talking to a brother about that today. I was talking to a sister about that, I think last night. Hey, I had no problem admitting that I had to leave childish things behind, and childish things didn't get left behind when I turned 18, when I turned 15, when I turned 21, when I turned whatever these ages are that people want to pull out. All right. Okay. That being said, though, he'll tell you, he'll start giving you a list. And it's really interesting because somebody will say, I can't listen to you, but you can listen to your boss. If somebody says that here's the next part. My boss pays my bills. Listening to my boss pays my bill. Listening to you doesn't pay anything. But what if he's giving you kingdom advice? What if his direction is not his direction, but his direction of the Most High? I'm just saying, what if? Because everybody gonna go quickly to, but what if he not doing and everybody, and I was with this man and he was black. I'm not saying men, I said real men. I'm not saying counterfeit. I'm not saying somebody that every once in a while wants to go to a service. I'm not saying the man that went to a service and was talking about how much he loved the Lord while he was trying to get in the draws. Yeah, because they not real men either. And I said the Lord. I made the point not to say the church. I said the Lord. The Lord. How you doing, Bruda? Right? I'm not talking about them brothers who treat you with respect and they come to find out, that they married us now. No, I'm talking about real shown up men. I said I'm finna get us in trouble. Hey, I'm talking. Matter of fact, brothers, we might want to put that on shirt. Need to be an SOC thing when we meet as men. Maybe we need to be somebody recall that. Somebody remember that. Remind me of that next time that we meet up. When we meet up on Saturday, some brother needs to remind me of that because I feel like I'm gonna leave that alone too long and I'm gonna forget about it. Men of integrity. I felt that one in my Chanta, right? I'm talking about real show enough men, because men of integrity are men that are one with the Most High, integrated. Integrate is one, integral, oneness, integral to it, one with it. How you doing, brother Charles? OG, double OG, triple OG. See, so we're dealing with actual men, and if they're getting direction from the Most High, the question is, why can He not give direction? Or if He's dealing with things emotionally, why is it that because He is emotional? See, here's something that we have to recognize. My wife helps me to deal with stuff emotionally a lot because she's the other half. We come together as one. That also means I sometimes have to step in and help her with her emotional stuff because there's some things that she's not designed to do. That's why two become one. There's certain things that I need to see it through the feminine lens, if you will. I'm not talking about through wisdom because we know wisdom is feminine, right? Wisdom is referred to as she, just like Levak Hakodash referred to as she. Now, what I'm talking about is there's some things, even with emotions, that she's going to see and that I am going to see. And there's many sisters, as I found out through many different times, that when we talk about this stuff, they never actually heard a man talk about this. They never listened quite. They never had an ear to hear yet, or they've heard men talk, but because of, once again, the lack of respect. I don't think a lot of sisters hear that. When a man says, I don't feel respected, a lot of times he's just saying, I do not feel heard. It's not that we want to be in charge or in control. It's not that everything that we say must be done. It's that if I start speaking, can you at least treat it as if it should be written down and looked at as a possibility? Once again, if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, take it off. This might not be for every sister. Right? But there are some that need to hear this. And there are some sisters. Look, I'm not talking to anybody in particular. I'm just letting the Holy Spirit use me. I got to be obedient. I'm going to follow what she says. There's some sisters that can write books that save souls and can't hear husbands. There are some sisters who are ready to tell you, who can give you a prophetic word and also be right about the prophetic word. And their husbands say, but I don't feel like I'm respected. I'm always careful to tell you that hey, there's some sisters that will listen to me as their pastor, and their husband is sitting there, and they'll tell me why their husband's on the phone, why their husband doesn't deserve to be heard. And they'll listen to me when I speak. I said, we got to change this because I don't come before your husband. No, you're not my husband, but you the pastor. Yeah, you got that twisted. I said real men. I said real husband. I said Israelites. I said biblical. I made those. I made those declarative adjectives, right? I declared these specific adjectives for a reason. It's led because I know that there's somebody who's ready to say why not. But I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that there's a lot of this stuff that's missing. Now, once again, we were not trained properly from childhood to respect, to train up husbands and to train up wives. So I get it. You get into these dates that aren't biblical, these dates that don't exist in your Bible, that aren't in your word anywhere, and you're used to having to finagle some man who's trying to finesse you. And you have to keep telling everybody he gonna change. You have to keep saying it. You tell everybody, but really you're telling yourself. You're like, he gonna change one day. He gonna change. He gonna change. And the reality is that he came as he was, and he's still been the same. You should have never allowed that. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I was headed somewhere else. Holy Spirit said I can't say that tonight. Look, right? Hey, how you doing, Shane? Well, I was about to go somewhere that I'm not supposed to go tonight. All right, amen. I'm be obedient. But hear what I'm saying? You that man has been as he was. He showed up to the assembly as he was a long time ago. Okay, he's still been the same. He showed up in your life the same as what he's been given the same promises. You've been talking about we've been going out for 10 months, but we're not married yet. That's not our culture. We don't know nothing about that. We don't know nothing. Not about that. We don't know nothing about that, right? We don't. That's not our code. That's not anything that we do. But everybody keeps using that as the standard. That is not our standard. How you doing, Brother Allen? Right? But we're used to so many different things that came from so many different places. Then you multiply the drama and the headache and the frustration. Multiply it by red pill logic. Multiply it by red pill logic. Multiply it by what's it the sprinkle stuff. Multiply it by feminism. Now multiply it by anti-feminism. That has nothing to do with us. How you doing, Sister Nadine? It has nothing to do with us. How you doing, Bradley? That's not our culture. That's not our community. That's not how our country runs. Now, I said a real man. What is a real Israelite man? A real Israelite man is one who is a child of the king. Every Israelite man is first a son of the king. If he's not a son of the king, then he's not worth you listening to, because he's not a real man. At least he's not on his way to becoming one. My son is a son of the king, but he's a prince. I'm a son of the king. I've become a king. And as a king, I'm different. I'm peculiar. I'm not familiar to you. So you have to be careful. How you doing, Sister Deborah? You have to be careful where you put me at. You have to be careful where you put my real brothers at. I'm not talking about the ones who say they're my brother, but for real, they ain't kingdom minded. I said you got to be careful where you put me and my brothers at, because we're peculiar. We don't fit in everybody's circles. We might have been there before, but we new creatures. And because we're new creatures, we look new to you. And the reality is we're not even new. We're going back to the original, but it's so new and foreign to you that you must call it new. That's why it's a new creature to you. But he says that he knew me, the real me, the king that I'm becoming, the man that I am, the kingdom man that I am, the Israelite man that I am. He said he knew him before the foundation of the world. Matter of fact, he knew him before my mother and father knew him, knew each other. Matter of fact, he knew him before I knew myself. You're dealing with somebody different, right? And we got to recognize this. If you're not dealing with that's why what was sent was a real man. I'm not talking about any random folk out there. I'm talking about a real man. I'm talking about somebody who's trying to raise his son to break chains and bondages. Or watch this, my son's not even going to have to break chains and bondages. He's going to have even more to do, because he's everything his father breaks, every chain that we break, every curse that we break, it means that he's supposed to keep the chains off. He got a different kind of fight coming up. But he's being in training to become a greater man than his father, or at least stand on the shoulder so he can be at greater heights than his father is, because no son is really ever greater than his father, but he can go to greater heights than his father. That's a whole word within itself. Ooh, that's a whole word within itself. Right? But that's what you're dealing with. See, first of all, I am a son of the king. That means that I'm in line for a throne if I'm not already sitting upon it. Sisters, you already know where our heart is. You know that this is not misogynistic. You know that this is real. Because some of y'all, the problem is that you're trying to compare us to fake men, to men that look. I apologize, but some of y'all look. I apologize. I'm just keeping a buck. Be mad at me if you want. Throw the tomatoes. I'm on the other side of the screen anyways, and people have done way worse to me than throw them tomatoes, right? Right? Some of the things people are throwing have been worse than tomatoes. But let's be honest. Some of you will compare us to husbands you've been with for decades, and he wasn't really a husband in the first place, not as far as the Bible is concerned. And then you were hoping and praying he would change it to a husband, which is possible, but it doesn't. But that's not the best way to go about it. Nobody taught us this. See, watch this. You're out. The fact that you're out there looking for a husband, some of you, if the shoe fits, wear it, doesn't take it off. The fact that in society we have taught women to go looking for what should be finding them while they're already in their work speaks volumes. When my wife found me, she might not have found somebody rich. She might not have found somebody who was a millionaire. She might not have found somebody who could pay all the bills there. But she found somebody, a man with a mission. And therefore, she found a man that was dangerous to society, at least to the world, but not dangerous unto her. See, a man without a mission to you personally is a dangerous man. Is a dangerous man. How you doing, Big Brother Thomas? And you got to recognize that. A lot of people go with missionless men. Men who have no mission. This man has no mission. You call it no ambition. It's really that he has no mission. He's not trying to make anything better. He's not trying to become better. He's not trying to be stronger in the Lord. He's not trying to make sure that he shows love on a level that people haven't seen. That's not his goal. That's not his purpose. That's not his mindset. That's not his heart. When you get a real man, it's going to shock you. See, watch this. Real men, when you sit on the throne, somebody comes talking about they want war. Real men don't get angry and start running around the place, because you got to make decisions. When the devil shows up to your house, real men don't move like that, not off the throne. Why would I get off the throne? When the devil tries to get in, the devil has no authority here. It's like that old Bad Boys. It's a Bad Boys 2, and they circling around that place, and the devil is not welcome here. He is not welcome here. That thing, right? But that's real talk. When the devil try to come in to this house, he ain't welcome here. He has no authority. The devil can't go over here. You're with all these men who are up here singing like y'all singing, talking about, well, the devil came and he stole my joy. How the devil gonna steal what's not his to steal? If I don't authorize it, he can't touch it. He can't take it. So be careful when you're dealing with a real man. He'll start talking like real man. Be careful if you get that mandem, right? Mandem don't play, right? We're talking about kingdom men. Kingdom men, they look for wives, but the Bible says kingdom men are not focused on wives. See, watch this. This is going to mess with you. A kingdom man is focused on his work, and in the midst of his work, he finds a wife. Now, I say it again, the man of the kingdom, he doesn't, the man of the kingdom, he's not doing what y'all are doing. The kingdom man, what you looking for, he's not looking for a wife. He finds a wife. Wait a minute. He finds a wife in the midst of his work. You are designed, you in our culture, you were given your inheritance by your father when you're 22. You've been trained 7 times over at 3 years apiece of different things you're supposed to be trained in. You're at 22 and you're given your inheritance and you're supposed to do the work of your father and keep the business going and get your own land and all that stuff. And while you're in your work, you run into your wife. Real men, our mission is not women oriented. Our mission is so great that when we find the wife, we find somebody who we know is going to help us to multiply what we have, and we will protect her at all costs because that's part of the mission. But do you know that the mission has to be greater than your wife? Because the mission has to be greater than yourself. And you and your wife are going to become one, which means that any mission you have is greater than any woman you'll find, and any mission you have is greater than any man who you'll become. Oh, I know you ain't heard nobody talk like this. You know why? Because we don't have no kingdom men. Forgive me, I'm passionate about it, but it's real. Sisters, y'all know I got you on Thursday. Some of y'all, you just have to bite your tongue. You have to grind your teeth tonight, right? Some of you don't like hearing this. Brothers, some of you don't like hearing this because you like somebody getting on you and telling you, right? But a man, when he's single, he's supposed to be in his work, and his work is supposed to be propelling him. And in the midst of his work, he will run into a wife, and he'll not only run into a wife, but he'll run into somebody he says, "Ooh, this might need to become my wife," because in our culture, husbands and wives are pre-qualified to be husbands and wives. And so while I'm in my work, see, the problem is that you haven't found a versus. Forget what I'm. But you were looking for a man, and I'm not saying it's bad to get prepared for a husband, but be prepared for the husband to find you in his work. Not just to find you, not just to go, "Hey, what's up, babe?" Not just to say, "Hey, yellow skirt." Look for somebody to say, "I found," right? I was found while he was in his work. If you're gonna find him, at least find him in his work, not at his job, not at his hobby, in his work, what he's been called to do and he can't retire from. Because if his work is great enough to cover you and he can't retire from it, that means he can never retire from covering you. Woo! Somebody, if I had, oh my goodness, I would have slapped the screen if I didn't have to pay for another one. look, 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 this is, if you caught what the Most High really wanted from us, my greatness. My greatness. If you really saw how y'all had this thing set up, you would start looking for, matter of fact, sisters, you would stop looking for real men, at least as far as trying to become wives of real men, because they find you when they're in their work. That means that you simply be the wife that you're already called to be. And I know somebody thinks this is antiquity. Somebody thinks it's antique, but this is why, as much as you say you don't need a man, it doesn't feel great when a man stops and says, "I'll open the door." As much as society says, "Don't look for a man," doesn't it feel great when somebody's sitting up there thinking about what your needs before you even need it? Matter of fact, some of you run into real husbands and they're not your husband, and they just do things that they do because they've been trained to be husbands, and you sometimes will automatically start thinking, "Oh, this man must want to be my husband," when the reality is he was simply doing what husbands do. You're not used to somebody making sure that you have affection. He can't help it. He's not even trying to give you affection as him being your husband to a wife. He's just been trained to be affectionate, because why would you not be affectionate to a woman, a woman who's supposed to nurture? Why would you not nurture that spirit? Right? If you simply be who you're called to be, and watch this, you be in your work, you be the vessel you're supposed to be. He's going to be in his work, and his work is supposed to make sure that it covers yours. My greatness. His work is supposed to make sure that it covers yours. I'm just trying to help somebody. Anyways, if we have more time, we got to get ready for this meetup tonight. We're gonna talk about the sisters on Thursday. Those of you who are in the Central North region, we're gonna get ready to talk to y'all in about what 5 minutes now? Something 10 minutes. Okay. Praise y'all. Don't forget June 16th, Pentecost, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern New York time on Zoom, 6 o'clock p.m. in person, or if you want to come earlier, the doors will be open at 3. We're looking forward to seeing all y'all, beloved. We appreciate you. We honor you. We might have to revisit this. We might have to have some panel discussion on this thing right here. Man, I hope somebody was taking notes and somebody go back over the recording. This thing was for you tonight. This thing was for me tonight. Anyways, we'll see you guys if you're in the Central North region. We'll see you on Zoom in a second. Don't forget Shabbat's coming up June 16th. I will be on tomorrow. Wednesdays is normally my day off, but I will be on tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern New York time. But we'll be on, and we'll be doing a version of the Roman Road, another, going over the Roman Road again, which we do from time to time. Okay, so we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We're praying for you. We hope that all is well with you all. Thank you for being on. We very much so appreciate you. Pray for us. As you can see, we're going to be on the road for a little bit, so pray for us. We'll probably be on the road for a little bit, and we'll see you guys on Zoom just for about 20 minutes or so for those that are coming on. And we hope the rest of you have a great night. If you're in the Central North region, you should have already got a text with the information. If you look in certain places like on YouTube in the community section, or even if you have Patreon, you should be able to see the entire Zoom link on there and click on that and be part of what we're doing. If you need the schedule, please look at the schedule. The schedule is listed already in all social media platforms. You might have to scroll a little bit, but we have a flyer on there. We'll try to put it up at least once a week so everybody can look it up. Okay. So thank you all. Appreciate you. When I say it's up everywhere, that even includes TikTok. It's even up on TikTok. It's on IG. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's on multiple places in Facebook, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. I think it's even in the WhatsApp link. Okay. So everybody should be able to find it. We appreciate you, and remember, we're going to be doing that weekly, at least for a couple months. We want it to keep on going, for sure. But as far as me being on and being heavily present on it, we'll try to make sure it's going at least for a couple months. Okay. So those in the Central North region, we'll see you guys at the top of the hour. Everybody else, appreciate y'all. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you on Thursday. And I believe this Thursday coming up, this Thursday coming up is Q&A. So if you have questions, comments, or concerns, if you have questions about Shabbat, Pentecost, all that stuff coming up, we can answer that on Thursday. We'll try to make sure that we put up, starting tomorrow, we put up places on social media that you can ask your questions or type them in, so that when we meet together on Thursday, you can ask them straight away. So thank you again. Appreciate you. We honor you. Take care. We'll talk to some of you guys soon for that brief Zoom meeting. And thank you guys again. We honor you. And as always, we give our honor and praise to the Most High. We give our praise and honor to him for my wife, the Honorable Amma, who lives a life that's able to be honored. As always, you can check her out on TikTok, YouTube, our website, and Pinterest at Bloom and Flourish, not A&D, the letter N, Bloom and Flourish. She is a healer, herbalist, chemist, and biologist by degree. Thank you all for being on. And as always, has been Pastor Kofi, Pastor Servant to Christ, where we are always changing lives one mind at a time, but being a voice of the voices and speaking the unspoken. And until I have the great privilege, opportunity, and responsibility of being in front of you all again, please remember, as always, that you are loved, you're necessary, you're majestic, you're fearfully, wonderfully made, and you, which is all of us working together, will be the reason why people who are in this system no longer have to be of it. Shalom, family. Take care. Ravai Shalom, and hashtag SOC. Don't forget to support one another, family in need. Reach out and support them, even if it's just in prayer as well. And don't forget on Thursday as well, Thursday Rising Prayer, 7 a.m. Talk to you soon. Take care, family. Peace.